Thank you. Thank you. I love you back. So, let me first of all acknowledge a few people who are here. The outstanding young mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, Wasim Reed, is in the house. One of the finest men I know, somebody upon whose shoulders I stand. The great Congressman John Lewis is in the house. Other outstanding members of the congressional delegation here in Georgia: Sanford Bishop, David Scott, Hank Johnson. Somebody who I was just reminiscing, when I first started to run for office, a lot of people weren't sure whether a guy named Barack Obama could win. And so we went down to the Selma commemoration, Emmett Pettus Bridge. And we're in church, and a lot of folks at that point are still wondering, whether this is a good idea that this young guy is running for president. And this man gets up on stage and he explains how people call him a little crazy. But there is good crazy and there's bad crazy. He tells me now that he came up with the idea when his doctor explained to him there was good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. But he decided that supporting Barack Obama was a good kind of crazy, he said. We have been dear friends ever since. The Reverend Dr. Joseph Lowry. And finally, let me just say something about the man who introduced us, Tyler Perry, hosting us all at his incredible facility. He and I were talking, and there's something about America where somebody from my background can do what I'm doing, and somebody from Tyler's background can do what he's doing. And as tough as things get sometimes, and as frustrated, cynical people can get about politics, when you look at a Tyler Perry and all that he's achieved, and the humility and graciousness with which he's achieved it, you can't help but be proud of him and to be proud of our country. So give it up for Mr. Tyler Perry. Now, I'm here today not only because I need your help, I'm here because the country needs your help. We're going to help you. There was a lot of reasons why so many of you decided to get involved and then just work your hearts out in the campaign in 2008. It was not because you thought it would be easy. The odds of me becoming president were long. You didn't need a poll to know it was going to be tough. You didn't join the campaign because of me. You joined it because of your commitment to each other and the vision that we share about America. It wasn't a vision where just a few people do well and everybody else is on their own and the most powerful are able to make their own rules. It wasn't a cramped vision or a selfish vision of America. It wasn't a limited vision about our future. It was a vision of America where everybody who works hard has a chance to get ahead. Not just those who are born into it, but a Tyler Perry, or a Barack Obama, or a child in Georgia, or a child in a barrio in Texas, or a poor child in some rural community in the Midwest. It didn't matter. they would have a chance if they were willing to work hard. That's the vision we shared. That's the change we believed in. We knew it wouldn't come easy. We knew it wouldn't come quickly. But we believed. And in just 3 years, because of what you did in 2008, we've begun to see what change looks like.
Yes.
Change is the first bill I signed into law, a law that says women deserve an equal day's pay for an equal day's work. Because I don't want my daughters treated any differently than your sons. I want them to have the same opportunities. That's what change is. Change is the decision we made to rescue the American auto industry. At a time when it was on the verge of collapse and some folks were saying, let Detroit go bankrupt, we had 1 million jobs on the line, and I wasn't going to let them go. Today, GM is back on top, the #1 automaker in the world. Just reported the highest profits in 100-year history. With more than 200,000 new jobs added, the U.S. auto industry is back. That's what change is. That's what you did. Change is the decision we made to stop waiting for Congress to do something about energy. We've been listening to politicians for 3 decades, 4 decades, saying they were going to do something about energy. We went ahead and did it. Raised fuel efficiency standards on cars. By the next decade, we'll be driving American-made cars getting 55 miles a gallon. That'll save the average family $8,000 at the pump. That's what change is. And it happened because of you. Change is us deciding, you know what, why are we giving $60 billion to the banks to manage the student loan program? Let's give it directly to the students. So that millions of more young people are either getting higher Pell Grants or are finally eligible. Being able to invest in things like early education and community colleges and HBCUs. Change is attacking the cycle of poverty. Not by just pouring money into a broken system, but by building on what works. Promise neighborhoods. The idea of pulling all our resources together to make sure that everybody has a chance. Rebuilding our public services, public housing. Making sure that our education system is working. Making sure that we've got partnerships with local leaders like Kasim Reed. All across the country. Rebuilding cities. 1 block, 1 neighborhood at a time. That's what change is. Change is, yes, healthcare reform.
Yeah.
You want to call it Obamacare? That's okay, because I do care. That is why we passed it. Because I care about folks who were going bankrupt because they were getting sick.
Thank you.
And I care about children who have pre-existing conditions and their families couldn't get them any kind of insurance.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we've got reforms that will ensure that in this great country of ours, you won't have to mortgage your house just because you get sick. Right now, 2.5 million young people already have health insurance who didn't have it before because of this law. It let them stay on their parents' policies. Insurance companies can't just deny you coverage or drop your coverage at a time when you need it most. Seniors are seeing more help when it comes to their prescription drugs and preventive care. That's what change is. Change is the fact that for the first time in history, you don't have to hide who you love in order to serve the country you love. We ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Change is keeping the promise I made in 2008 for the first time in 9 years. There are no Americans fighting in Iraq. We decided to refocus on the folks who actually attacked us on 9/11, and thanks to the brave men and women in uniform, Al-Qaeda is weaker than it's ever been, and Osama bin Laden is not walking the face of this earth. None of this has been easy. And we still have a lot of work to do because there are a lot of folks who are still hurting out there.
That's right.
A lot of folks still pounding the pavement looking for work. A lot of people whose homes values have dropped A lot of people who are still struggling to make the rent. There's still too many families who can barely pay their bills. Too many young people still living in poverty. I was reading a statistic the other day. Fewer than half of African Americans believe we'll reach the dream Dr. King left for us. So we've still got so much work to do. And I know when we look at what is, it can be heartbreaking and frustrating. But I ran for president, and you joined this cause, because we don't settle just for what is, we strive for what might be. Mm-hmm. We want to help more Americans reach that dream. I ran for president to give every child a chance. Whether he's born in Atlanta or comes from a rural town in the Delta. I ran for president not just to get us back to where we were, but to take us forward to where we need to be. And I'm telling you, Atlanta, we are going to get there. Step by step, we are going to get there. Already over the past 2 years, our businesses have added almost 4 million new jobs. Manufacturers are creating jobs for the first time since the 1990s. The recovery is accelerating. Our economy is getting stronger. We're moving on the right track. What we can't do is go back to the same policies that got us into this mess in the first place. Of course, that's exactly what the other folks want to do. The folks who are running for president. They make no secret about it. They want to roll back the laws that we put in place so that now Wall Street can play by its own rules again. They want to go back to the day when insurance companies could deny you coverage or jack up your premiums anytime they wanted without reason. They want to spend trillions more on tax breaks for the very wealthiest of individuals. Even if it means adding to the deficit, even if it means gutting things like education or our investment in clean energy or making sure Medicare is stable. Their philosophy is simple. Everybody's just left to fend for themselves. If those in power can make their own rules, then somehow it's all going to trickle down to you. Yeah. And they're wrong. They're wrong. They were wrong when they tried it. And they're wrong now. In the United States of America, we are always greater together than we are on our own. We're always better off when we keep that basic American promise. That if you work hard, you can do well enough to raise a family and own a home and send your kids to college and put a little away for retirement. And that's the choice in this election. We've got different visions being presented. This is not just another political debate. This is the defining issue of our time. What are we going to do to make sure that middle-class families are secure and that we continue to build ladders for people who are trying to get into the middle class? We don't need an economy that's built on outsourcing and bad debt and phony financial profits. We need an economy that's built to last. An economy that's built on American manufacturing, American energy, and giving skills to American workers. And holding up those values that we cherish: hard work,